So now, third law of motion. Newton's third law of motion states, to every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction. That is, to every action there is always, underline the word always. There is always an equal and opposite reaction. To every action, regardless of whatever action you take, there is always, that is, the principle of constancy and consistency. There is always an equal and opposite reaction. So what does it tell you? That when there is a reaction, when there's an action, look at it, when there's an action here, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So this goes like this. This is the reaction. Look at it. So to every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction. Now, what do I mean? I want to eat this wall. Now, I apply force, I eat this wall. What will be the reaction of this wall? Is that it bounces back on my hand and my hand becomes painful. Yeah, my hand be paining me because I'm the one that eat it. Definitely there must be an equal reaction back. I'm the one that will feel the pain. So if I don't feel the pain, then that means there's no reaction. The wall I just so that is and that is why this third principle applies to everything in life, and this third principle is what we call the principle of stability. We call it the principle of stability. Yes, and that is why science explains to us that the reason why the earth can stand on its orbit is because of this principle of stability. That is, to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. There is a force holding the earth in place, and that is when we talk about, when we get to force, the force field, when we talk of contact force and force field and nuclear force, we now talk of centripetal force and centrifugal force. So we talk of centripetal force and centrifugal force. So there is one that pushes away, there's one that brings closer. So we talk of centripetal force and centrifugal force. So, and that is why the third law of motion is very, very important in everything we do. So whatever action you take, expect the reaction, expect the consequences. And that's why they say we can only determine our choices of our decision, but we can't determine the consequences of our decision. And that's the truth. A student that is preparing for exam and fails to read, of course, what do you expect? He will fail because he fails to read. So the reaction of your negligence of not studying and reading is failure, and it's equal. No cheating, no partial. But a student that read his books, sit for the exam, you definitely pass. It's a principle of stability. And that is why, as you see me standing, I am exerting a force on the ground, on this ground that I'm standing. But because the ground also is exhibiting an opposite reaction, that is why I can stand upright. If not, I'll be shaking. I'll be shaking. And that's why you see these principles occurs on even our slippers, our footwear that you wear. What makes it to the principle of wear and tear is because of this third law of motion. The more you keep wearing your slippers, in order to time, start creating holes, small. You start wearing, start filing gradually. Maybe the sole that is as big as this, before you know it, the sole will reduce because of constant friction, constant wearing. So it tells you that to every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction. That's the truth about it. And that this law, I told you, it works on the principle of what? Stability. For you to balance, the principle of equilibrium, the principle of balance. So to every action, there's always an equal and opposite reaction. So if, like, let's assume now, this is a truck. This is a truck carrying maybe goods, maybe like Dangote truck now that is carrying oil or cement. Now this is a car, a small car, maybe Uber or this small private car. Now you see a big truck going. This is a truck. Let's assume this is just a truck. Now this is the car coming in, just a small car. So this is a truck. This is a small car. So this is a truck. This is a small car. Now a truck is going in this direction. The small car is coming too. Now their action is that they are moving close to each other. But once they hit each other, now there will be an equal and opposite reaction. So once they hit each other, it's either this truck pushes, of course it will smash the car. Both of them, a truck. This is big brother, this is small brother. So if a small brother hits a big brother, you just carry, knock for granted. So this truck will crush this because this is of a smaller force, this is a bigger force. But the principle here is that there will be a reaction and there will be a collision. And this third law is what will now lead us into what we call collision, where we talk of inelastic and elastic collision. So remember, third law of motion states to every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction. And remember, I told you it was on the principle of stability and on the principle of cause and effect. Cause and effect. So once there is a cause, there will be effect. The principle of cause and effect. Yes, the principle of cause and effect. The cause is the action, the effect is the reaction. So this is the action, which is the cause, the reaction is the effect. And this principle is applicable to everything about life. Everything about life. If you want to do anything, maybe you want to make money, then you have to invest or you have to work for money to get money in exchange. If you want to pass your exams, you have to read. So everything you do has an equal and opposite reaction. Our clothes that we wear, but this clothes I'm wearing now, as you start growing older and you start growing taller, the clothes start getting shorter. That is the reaction. The clothes start getting shorter because you don't turn big boy. So that is the principle of the third law of motion that states to every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction.